I'm Louis Tay from MSPC, Malaysian Service Provider Confederations. I will be following up on this topic with a little bit focus on what the MSPC has been working intensively over the last 2 years in Malaysia. We have been targeting the professional service industry, which especially the construction and the engineering fraternity, and we are trying to promote digital transformation, and ultimately the value should be integrated digital delivery. We like to share a little bit of what we have been advocating here. Of course, we all know that digital transformation will involve the technology, data. I think Barbara talked very well about data is not only about management. You also need to promote cloud usage, and people need to close the gap of competency. And the most important thing, a lot of people do not aware that digital transformation actually has a lot to do with process transformation. That we are no more talking about digitization. We are talking about digitalization. So what's the difference? It's actually, when we say that digitalization, you actually need to transform, digitalize both the work content and the work process. So if people who are in the construction industry, they all know about this latest report and survey by Mackenzie, which was published last year at the height of the pandemic. And this is the future of the industry we're anticipating. It is quite a long report. We just abstract a part of it. And what is interesting is, compared to another report on the construction industry they have produced 5 years ago, there is a word they use in the early 5 years ago. They used the word digitization, and in this report they actually changed the word to digitalizations. And this report actually look at the value chain processes a lot. I think that's very important. We talk a lot about adoption of BIM and whatever software, cloud usage for common data environment. But what is this all about? It is all about, at the end of the day, creating new value, new economic value, and it would disrupt the entire process. And the outcomes are here. I think this report is accessible to everyone, so I don't want to spend too much time on that. So what I want to share is, when we talk about BIM theory, we talk about digitalizations, we are talking about the solution to the root cause of this phenomenon that has been challenging the construction industry for ages. And what are the challenges? Okay. We know that the industry is one of those that highly not transparent, or we call it, the opaqueness is really of question, and it is a highly fragmented industry. Value chains are fragmented, and it's the least, construction industry as a whole is the least digitalized industry. I think we are just doing a little bit better than the hunting industry as compared to everything else. Even the agriculture is doing better. And this is the fact about it. This is in Malaysia, our all service sector, Malaysia, the construction industry is the lowest in terms of productivity performance every year. Every year, we are about 50% of the national average. That's how serious it is. And I think from the speakers yesterday's, we have seen also that during the pandemic, construction is one of the worst hit or impacted sector of all. And frankly, as compared to the way we manage information and manage data, if we compare this to banking industry, we are like at the level of 30 years ago, what the banking industry do. You do not have real time, we do not have collectively collaborated working environment at all. So, and unfortunately, construction industry also follow the communication, the orientations of the value chains, the workflow actually follow the complication of contractual manner, the contractual orientation of projects. But it doesn't have to be so. In fact, informations can follow a different orientation, and because to digitalize the industry, you need to reorientate how information flow and communication is managed. We need to have a data-centric working manner. So this new way of collaborated collectively, real time on single source of truth SST is actually what we are looking for, what we need to make it happen for the engineering fraternity. And this is a little bit old, but we have been talking about this since last 2 years. We are saying that the IDD driving digitalization to achieve integrated digital delivery is the ultimate value we are looking for. And in fact, at this moment, it will value add to the service. It is value adding, playing the role of value adding, in my opinion, because it is not matured. But bear in mind, in my opinion, when this become matured, when your client enjoy this value, I believe in the future is this value will be equally important as your professional service value itself. So the digital delivery integration value is as important as the service itself. So traditionally, when we look at architecture engineering, we are looking at a service that to provide compliance to achieve serviceability. But today with IDD, you need to help to study constructability and maintainability with the intelligence of the software, with the automation of processes. And all these projects are talking about creation focus, how to create this, create that. And with IDD, we should look at sustainability focus. We look at the larger life cycle of built asset beyond it is constructed, how it is maintained, how it is managed. And also the traditional approach is very much work content focused, design values we talk about. Today, we need to look at work process enhancement, productivity value. And with IDD, we look beyond contractual linkage or value chains. We look at digital linkage. And in fact, it all has to start with the fact that we need to add a layer of digital information management system over this traditional approach. So these are the important value. And when we adopt this and achieve this, a lot of people is asking me what is BIM. BIM is actually an operational technology. Okay, and so at the end of the day, what we do when we achieve IDD is we have created a digital twin that is required to define the hardware of IoT functions. So not only aircon, CCTV that you're going to put in IoT, to make the whole system smart and integrated, we need to digitalize and create the digital twin of our built asset. This is essential. And when this is achieved, there are a lot of new opportunity of services, new startups will be there. And I just want to show this a transition theory. And it simply says that you want to start something. This graph tells you one thing, look at the blue dotted line. If you want to start transforming, you have to go through a challenge, the transition period. But I always say that when you look at this graph, what is important to understand is you have to start when you are above the blue line. It means when you are still healthy, However, you're no more productive, you're lesser and lesser competitive. It is time to transform. And so this is a message from here. And what we recommend, okay, we are saying that we call on to governments to create these collaborations, to empower this collectively real-time and this communication, work progress, and content on CDE and single source of truth. This will mean that, like what Barbara said, the government should encourage the cloud use. You should actually facilitate this cloud use, invest in this cloud, so that to create the entire infrastructure and database for the built asset of the country, that will create a lot of new economy. And second thing we talk about is, we always say that it has to standardize built asset information management strategically based on ISO. And of course, investment and leading the way is also important. So lastly, I would like to share, okay, because of my time is running, I would like to share something within my organization. My business happened to be in construction and engineering service. We have 3 different segments of business. And the digitalization, which is by the name of BEST, the company name, is the smallest of all. And this is how we grow through the pandemic, benchmarking on the quarterly average revenue of 2019, taking that as a benchmark. And you can see how we grow, how it will impacted, okay, especially our construction service, which we rent equipment and we do solutions. Building material is traditional trading, and we have 2 times of lockdown in Malaysia, and it's actually reflected in the 2, the valley that in the graph. But if you look at the recent towards this year, the first 3 quarters of this year, our digitalization services is actually doing much better than all the year before. It's only a 5 years business. And in fact, until the 3rd quarter, we are still in the dip. But based on the latest information that the business in October, we actually know that it's into the recovery. So we expect it to pick up, all the business to pick up in the 4th quarter. But this is indicative that it is a business that people go for now. It is a service that is actually very much in need. Needed in the market. So that will conclude my speech. So, sorry to take a bit too long. Okay, thank you.